Hello, hello, hello. My name is William Holland. I'm an artist illustrator who enjoys not only drawing geeky things from time to time and other OCs and sometimes, but also other things such as wrestling and comic book characters, different things like that that you'll see on my channel. I hope you not only enjoy that, but I hope you'll walk with me on this journey as you see a little bit of everything that I draw during this time. I like to dabble in geek, whether it's Star Trek related, Doctor Who related, Marvel related, or wrestling related. I illustrate and draw children's books as well as write them, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. I thank you so much, and now it's time for Drawing Time with Will. Thank you to Photoshop. I'm trying to get back into the land of the digital, and I'm not for sure how well this is going to go over. This, I'm not going to claim to be a master at Photoshop or anything, but I really wanted to give this artwork that I was working on for this particular series, or this particular part of the comic book I'm working on. The name of this series is simply Captain Fantastic and Her Adventures, in space. Basically, the idea is a story. This young lady here that's in the middle, her name is Hanna, and Hanna works at a little grocery store, and her dad is picking her up from work, so her dad's like, hey, you know, you never get anything for yourself. Why don't you pick up something for yourself before you go? And so, of course, she just randomly grabs something in the store, and, you know, she's like, messes with it, fiddles with it, things like that. And when she fiddles with it, she ends up basically activating a key, an intergalactic key. And when she activates that key, these aliens show up in the middle of the store. They take her to jail, basically, in an intergalactic prison for getting access to this key. And then she ends up getting put in prison with these particular people. And so these particular people are some of the people. It's funny because if you look at her jacket here, I'm kind of going to scroll up a little bit before I show you the color work and stuff I did. I say color work. Anyway, so she has Captain Fantastic on her jacket. And so, of course, when they see this on her jacket, they think she's legit a captain of some sort of ship or something. And the fact is that she has never led anything. She's just kind of your normal teenage girl. She's just doing her teenage girl things. And, you know, she's not really even a hangout type person. She's very antisocial. But she ends up meeting this group of aliens and beings and strange origins. And so she ends up having to lead them. So I'll introduce you a bit to each person first, and then I'll go in and actually go in and do the color work or see what you see here. Now, of course, with the comic book I'm working on, it's going to be black and white. So when I say color work, it's mainly black and white. But anyway, so this guy here, if I'm going to use my fingers here, so this guy right here is Synapse. Synapse is a character that literally cannot feel pain. His race as a whole, he is a mutant in his own race because they're battle warriors and they kind of go in and fight and do all these things. And, you know, there's a battle rage that they go into and they just fight. They're pretty much bred to be weapons. Well, he understands he needs to fight, but he doesn't necessarily always want to. He's more of a pacifist, and that's why he's a mutant of their race. This, of course, is Hanna. This is our main character. She is about 16 years old, and she very much is in over her head, to say the least. This character here, his name is Ka, just Ka, so it's like K-A-A. And basically, he's a double-armed individual. You can see here he has 4 arms. He has 2 sets of arms. And so his basic thing is, and he has these really weird clawy feet. And so he has like 2 feet that are like just these little kind of squid tentacle toes type thing. And so he was put on this weird planet. He was born on this planet where there's no dry land. They're all on water. Think kind of Aquaman, but they're not nearly as pretty as Jason Momoa. So there you go. Anyway, this character here is Dr. Iris. Now, Dr. Iris was a female doctor that broke different laws on another planet, but then when she got to the prison, there was an accident, and so the only thing they could do is save her brain. Well, they put her brain in this gigantic robot, and so even though she's a scientist and she's always trying to come up with, normally she's always trying to come up with things to save lives. Apparently, these aliens felt like she was breaking the law, and so she, of course, gets put into this big old gigantic battle robot suit. So her whole thing is she looks like a battle robot. When people see her, they think it's a battle robot. So then people try to challenge her. The problem is she doesn't fight. Like, it's not that she can't learn how to fight. It's just she's definitely not what she appears to be. And then this is, I don't originally have a name for him, but then whenever Hanna meets him, she nicknames him Scar, because basically the first time she meets him, he kind of is playful, but he has a beak and he kind of bites it out on her hand and leaves a scar on her hand. And so she calls him Scar from then on out. So that's the name I'm gonna go with for him. And anyway, he's kind of this genetic experiment. There's a planet we're gonna go to, probably in the little sampling I'm gonna do, where you'll see this person that's just kind of creating these chimeras. And so he is basically doing that. Well, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is scroll out of this so you can kind of see the picture a little bit more, so that way you can see what I did in my quote coloring. So there's the picture there. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and I flatted out my colors. I did give a little bit of texture to Ka, so that way his skin will be a little bit different, give him a little bit of something to where he would feel very, very aquatic. But the reason I did these tones was to separate out so that way I could do my shading. I actually shaded on the wrong layer here for her. You can kind of see some of her light sources here. But then the next thing I did was, and this is actually before I did this, I actually created a background with like the moon and these different things of this rock that they're walking on, so that way they could so that way I can have a place for my light sources and all that. And I kind of imagine my main light source is going to come from somewhere over here. And so the next step was, of course, putting in my darks and then putting in my lights. So kind of to match up with the other. And then the last thing I did was pop the eyes out. So that way we can go ahead and do that. Now, of course, I see right off the bat, there's a little bit of an error here. So I'm not for sure why I did that. I'll have to fix that. So let me fix that real quick. I'm gonna zoom in just a second so you guys can see this a little bit closer. Unless I zoom out because I forgot to hit the plus. So we're gonna zoom in a little bit more. Let me go ahead and get rid of this real quick here. I didn't realize I had done that on that layer. So that way I can make sure not to cover up the background there. Definitely don't want to cover up the background. So there we are there. So we have the base background. So we have like space kind of behind them, and then there's the rock behind them that they're walking on in the background with like a little island area there. And I was wanted to make sure I didn't have any other spots to clean up. I didn't realize I had put white on the wrong layer, so that's why I wanted to clean that up there for you real quick. And okay, that's probably shadow area. Let's see if we can clean that up real quick here. No, not the. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Is that it? Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be on this layer. Just go ahead and clean this up on the side. I didn't realize I left that either. These are the reasons why I need to look at Photoshop carefully. It's just to make sure I don't do stuff like this, because I don't want to make the errors there as I'm trying to put the work in on any side. And there we go. So that's my little cleaned up version there. Let me do Clean up that. Yeah, let's clean that up. The little area between. That's okay. No. That was part of the tattoo. Let's undo that. Yeah. That's a part of the tattoo. That's not part of the thing. And then his tentacles right there. So anyway, so the guys can see the full picture with the art, with the coloring and everything now. So we'll back it up a little bit. And there you are. So there is the final result. There is the picture. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. There's the picture as it is. So hopefully you guys like what you see. Thank you guys for continuing to support me as I'm in the process of doing this comic book thing that I'm working on. And I greatly appreciate you guys. You guys rock, as always. Above all else, guys, do me one quick favor. And, you know, if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Anyway, take care, guys. Love you. And above all else, guys, do me a favor. Be blessed. Be a blessing to somebody. Take care, guys.